So, you are interested to hear more about relationships and romance in Cyberpunk 2077 and how that will work? Well, you are in the right place, Judy and Meredith aficionados. Today we're going to talk just about that. Welcome back, folks. My name is LastKnownMeal, and relationship and romance questions always keep popping up, so we'll talk about what devs decided to go with in this game compared to The Witcher 3, for example. In The Witcher 3, Geralt was already a predefined character, so with occasional flings now and there, usually the main two options were Yennefer and Triss, with of course Shani playing a huge role in the first game and Hearts of Stone expansion, but not to the point where Yennefer and Triss did. So what is different with Cyberpunk? Well, first off, you're creating your character, which also includes various gender options like male, female or neutral. On top of that, your character can be gay, straight or bisexual, therefore you are free to try and romance and build relationships with people you come across in the game, no matter the gender or whatever. And by that they mean both building friendships or taking things to the next level by fully romancing them. Other NPCs are also built to have their own preferences or interests, meaning other characters you meet might have a different preference to you, meaning they themselves can be straight, gay or bisexual. There are also other parameters like their overall interest and goals, so someone might like you depending on your life path, so for example if you're a street kid, a nomad or a corpo, and decisions you make in the game, but also your decisions and life path can completely make a certain NPC unavailable to you because that NPC has a different life path or just have a different interest, or they are not interested or attracted to your character. Life paths can also trigger other dialogue options which might play in your favor with that person, not always to basically put them in your bed, but also to make friendships. Of course, some relationships in the game will be similar to The Witcher 3, so occasional flings, now and there, like one-night stands can happen, but with other NPCs, you can build solid relationships with. Keep in mind, you won't be able to romance Johnny Silverhand due to him being an engram and well, also based on Keanu Reeves, so they can't really implement his scenes there, and plus I'm sure Johnny's girlfriend, Old Cunningham, who is also quite powerful, wouldn't like it. Keep in mind, some NPCs in the game already have established relationships and romancing them would be a problem, like for example Jackie or Misty, because those two are already in a relationship. Paweł Sasko, the lead quest designer for the game, talked more about it, saying this: as for romances, throughout the game, players will meet lots of characters with their own goals, motivations and needs. Sometimes those goals align with what V is trying to achieve, and depending on the player's decisions, it may spark interest on the side of the NPC. Side characters won't fall for V in every scenario though. When something is not right, they may choose friendship over a romantic relationship. The sexual orientation of a given NPC also plays a huge role in such interactions. In The Witcher 3, Geralt was a defined character who had a very clearly defined sexuality. In Cyberpunk, the choice of romantic partner is a part of freedom of play. That's why the game provides more options, going beyond heterosexual. Even in the world of Cyberpunk, relationships matter a lot. They are easier to have in some ways and in some time harder to cultivate. Player choices define how many relationships V is going to have, but some preferences are impossible to change, almost how it is in real life. We believe that this is one of the key factors that makes characters feel genuine, neutral, and real. We pay a great deal of attention to characters in the story as they are the main pillars of the plot. So with this we learned that building solid relationships will be hard and can be ruined quite easily if you make wrong decisions. So someone who really likes you after you do something else might become your enemy or become neutral to you, which plays into their consequence system where most of the stuff you do in the game will change the outcome of certain missions and the ending itself. It also has been hinted that we can have more relationships and some NPCs will be okay with it, while some won't. For example, Meredith Stouts. I doubt you will be able to get her if you're not really friendly with corpos and well with her, and I guess the first time meeting her will be the first step. So if you want her to like you, then you will have to make some tough decisions later, including certain factions, but I still think she will just, use us. I mean, she is a corpo after all, but you do you. I honestly believe it's very important for this game to do it that way, to make the city and characters feel believable. As they said, you won't really increase your reputation with someone by, bringing them 10 gold coins, but doing something more to pique their interest. That will depend a lot on your character and your decisions. Another cool thing is that all sex scenes will be in first person, and I already have some ideas on how that will play out in the game, but we still haven't seen that. Well, we got close to it in the last trailer for the game because they showed a couple of these shots which might be, during that animation that you go through if you take someone to the room. And be careful what you do, because as Sasko said, characters are the main pillar of this game. They push and alter the story, and maybe the relationship can screw up the mission later down the line, which is important for the overall plot. I mean, I doubt it will, but keep in mind one thing: relationships in this game are not only of, let's say, love or physical nature, they can be actual friendships with characters. One thing which helps is that CDPR is focusing on body language with certain characters, so it might be that their movements might give you a signal if you should proceed or not. That would be actually cool to see. Building friendships with NPCs will also help you during some missions, I suppose, by giving you extra dialogue options, or well, that person being more inclined to help you or give you the full story rather than just being neutral with you. And I'm sure that they're actually going to implement in the game that a certain character might say that they like you, but then do something else. They said that in the latest interview that Paweł Sasko actually did for characters, and it's not going to be random, it's going to be specially crafted, so be careful who you actually try to romance. We still don't have the full list of characters we can romance, so some will just have relationships to friend and that's it. And it's not going to be basic, so I guess even the people who generally skip that, like me, because well, I just want to do missions and shoot stuff, I mean, those people, including me, will be more inclined to try it, and since it can help you in the game, why not? So watch out, maybe even Judy is not the person she's claiming to be, you never know. And this is pretty much it we know about romancing and relationships so far. We still have 4 months until the game is out. They might touch on that again, but if they do, I will talk about it here on this channel. So click that subscribe button to stay updated with the latest Cyberpunk 2077 news, lore and explainer videos. Also join our growing community on Twitter and Discord. I also made a Patreon page. If you were interested in supporting the channel through that, you can check it out. And huge thanks to my current Patreon supporters. This is LKM signing out, and stay classy everyone. Bye bye.